Okay, day 209 of me doing my thing, making a golf swing every day, 2025. I've got a special guest tonight, Tommy Two Thumbs Stevenson. He's actually got a few nicknames, but he's a blue chipper from Ohio State. Say hi, Tommy.
Hi, everyone.
And by the way, just so you know, come on in here, Tommy. To play at Ohio State's tough. I mean, to even get into the school, Jack Nicklaus's alma mater, if you don't know. But talk to us a little bit about that process. How did that happen for you?
Well, I was a good junior and amateur player in the Northeast. Grew up in New Jersey, and was recruited by Ohio State and several other schools. And just fell in love with the university on a recruiting trip, and was lucky enough to get an opportunity to go there.
And you talked to us about your career. Was it any good in college?
No, I enjoyed the finer things in college, especially at Ohio State, football, beer, a couple other things. So I kind of underachieved at school, kids, but
no, you did well. Come on.
it was fun. We won the Big Ten championship in '95, and
What was your best round in college?
64 at the gray course, which is not the Scarlet.
That's golfing your ball, dude.
He's playing pretty good.
Yeah. Well, if you had to go back, if you could go back and say anything to yourself, your 18-year-old self, would you say anything to change it? Or
Well, I don't like to look back and live in the past too much, but I would have worked a lot harder for sure.
Yeah. On what? Long game or short game?
Just the discipline of golf and studying and having maybe a little less fun.
You mean be more mature at 18?
Yeah,
Which by the way, is impossible.
which
for
would have been
anyone.
really hard for, even if I had a time machine, I probably wouldn't have listened to myself.
So talk a little bit about, because I think this is fun, where you worked from there. You became a professional, right?
So I played some mini tours, and then realized I had to get a real job, and I got very lucky. Arnold Palmer was very nice enough to give me a junior membership at Bay Hill at the time, and I just randomly was able to network with some people, and I got to know a guy named Bob Ford, who's retired now, but he was the head pro at Oakmont and Seminole, and I was lucky enough to work for Bob at both Oakmont and Seminole, Oakmont in the summer and Seminole in the winter, and so that was pretty amazing.
Best Arnold Palmer story. Because you played with him a number of times, no?
Yeah, so the first time I played with him was probably my favorite story. So I was obviously very nervous, and I learned what the power of adrenaline could do for you. And I was hitting it a long way that day. And on the sixth hole, which is the famous par 5 with the lake around it, and I think Bryson almost drove the green or did drive the green.
Blue Monster?
Yeah. Well, no, that's Bay Hill. Or that's
sorry.
Yeah, that's Doral.
Sorry.
But anyway, so he comes up to me, and I hit a really good drive, and he was great. He always would put his elbow on my shoulder like that, and he said, "Tom, how old are you?" And I said, "I'm 24 or something." He goes, "I think I just won my first Masters." I was just like, well, "That's great, Mr. Palmer. I feel about that big." He was awesome, though. He was a great guy. I was one of the most influential people in my life, for sure.
Right on. And but talk about the places you work too, because that's pretty special.
Yeah, so Oakmont and Seminole are amazing. Obviously, everyone got a chance to see Oakmont during the U.S. Open this year. It's by far the hardest golf course.
And you went back?
You went back for the Open, got a chance to see some old friends and see Bob and see the course. Gil Hands obviously went in, tweaked it a little bit for the Open like he did at Olympic. So,
and you got your amateur status back?
Got my amateur status back a long while ago, probably about 10 years ago, just because I got out of the golf business and been in medical devices for almost 20 years. So just wanted to play with guys like you and not have so much seriousness.
That's a lie. Anyway. So, but listen, obviously super accomplished player, and moreover, I want to ask you, we were talking about this earlier, like, do you have kind of what I call a hot tip or something that you use? I talk about trying to find it sequence or tempo or timing or stuff like that. Is there a tip that you use that you love that you want to share with people?
Yeah, so obviously as a working professional now and not having the time to spend on the range endlessly, we get into bad habits, we get into little funks. And when I find myself in that situation, I tend to get quick, get a little handsy with the takeaway. So, the drill that I like to do is I put 2 golf balls really next to each other. And what I'll do is I'll demonstrate here is I'll try to feel as if I'm going to roll that ball back slowly. And what it does is it slows down your tempo. And it also makes you take more of a one-piece takeaway versus getting fast and handsy.
Well, why don't you show us? Set it up.
So you're on the range. You got obviously your lead ball that you're going to hit, and then you've got a ball right behind it. So you get set up to it, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly roll the ball back. And you want to do it so that the ball isn't fast. It's going to be very slow. And what that'll do, again, it'll create the right kind of rhythm and tempo in your takeaway, and it'll create a one-piece takeaway. You won't get handsy with it. So hopefully we can pull it off.
Back slow, huh?
Yep, nice and slow. And there you go.
Oh, oh! I'm actually closer than you.
I know.
The drill worked better for me than it did for you. Tommy Stevenson, everybody. Thank you, brother.
You got
That
it,
was
man.
awesome.
Yep.